Morning, everyone. I'm Naveen. Thank you, Mateen, Wakar, and Professor Bhatt for laying the foundation, presenting the structure and the body of the children's education program. And my presentation will be more about breathing life into that body. So I won't be wrong in saying it's the 6th day of the children's education program. This is the world map. And the pointer is very feeble, but still you may be able to see it. And this world map shows the partners who have partnered with University of Jammu to organize the children's education program. And these partners are spread over 5 continents. And the yellow dots here, these depict the children's education programs that we have organized in India. And the green ones, perhaps some of them are missing, are the programs that have been organized out of India. Now, all these programs that have been organized, they have had diverse themes, ranging from energy, environmental challenges, climate awareness, global warming, hazards, resilience. So when we talk about the themes that we have followed in children's education program, it heavily depended upon what the sponsor partners, the University of Jammu, who at times was the local partner when the events were organized in India, and other local partners when the events were organized abroad, out of India. It all depended upon identifying the relevance and need of that particular theme in that area of that particular country, whether the theme has to revolve around energy requirements, whether it should be about climate change, environmental awareness, hazards, so on and so forth. And after identifying a theme, which itself is very challenging, it's really important to identify the sponsor partners, whether the activities and interests are in tune with what we have identified as a theme in that particular area, whether the theme that we have identified parallels their corporate social responsibility. And likewise, we have to identify the local partners, whether they will be able to bring in additional support, additional expertise. So all of this that we do in children's education program, it revolves around the theme that we have chosen for that particular program. And the curriculum that is defined and that's constructed depends on the theme that's chosen. And we'll try to understand how this curriculum, how the syllabus, how the teaching materials evolved. This is the booklet from the first education program that was organized in the year 2008. This first program was organized in conjugation with an international conference in Jammu. And the conference was about finding oil and gas, hydrocarbons in very old rocks, and rocks as old as 500 million years. And the theme that was identified for this children's program was named as the quest for oil. There was a reason for it. The place that we come from, the place where this first education program was organized, it's energy deprived. There are rocks of the same age that are present in this area, in Jammu, and the rocks of the same age that are present globally, bear oil and gas. So we thought that this theme will be apt. This theme should be chased so as to build a curriculum. And the curriculum was constructed by bringing in all the partners. That included E&I as the sponsor partner and University College London. And it was Maghreb Petroleum Research Group in University College London. So we all collaborated and tried to bring about a merger of our ideas and initiatives so as to build this curriculum. Now this initial curriculum, it usually, it mainly was based on geology and earth sciences. And there were different exercises that were given to the students. One of the most interesting exercise is the footprint puzzle, where students, children are shown this footprint puzzle and there are certain questions. Now this is mainly to make them think about what the geological processes are like so that they understand the functioning, the behavior and thinking of an earth scientist. And using this footprint puzzle, they were asked different questions, like how many animals do you think are here? And the most interesting question of all, what do you think is happening at the position 2? Now all of you can identify there are different footprints, this one and this one. They seem to be converging. Now I'll just take a minute out of my presentation here. What do you think is happening at position 2? But the answer that you come up with, it has to be supported by an explanation. So it's a simple question. What do you think is happening at position 2? Any answers? Anyone?
Some sort of fight. One animal eating the other.
When I came across, this is a very good answer, but when I first came across, I thought that these two animals are lost friends and they were really happy to see each other and then started dancing around as soon as they came across each other. Any other answer? The bigger one ate the smaller one. How do you know which of the two is the bigger one? By the footprints. Oh, that's really good.
So it's a positive relationship. The smaller one has climbed onto the bigger one.
Oh, that's also very interesting. Perhaps the baby and the mother thinking about the fact that the baby needs some rest, and let's give the baby a ride.
I was thinking more along the lines of a bird that walks on the back of a bigger animal picking the insect.
Yeah, that's also very relevant. So this is the power of the curricula that was given to the students. Apart from this, the students were appraised about the real building blocks of our planet that we are made up of. The students were given first-hand experience concerning minerals and the rocks. They play with minerals and rocks, and this is how they get a first-hand experience of being a geoscientist. And the students are also given a climate awareness survey. It's designed by HSBC based on the Climate Awareness Survey 2007. And we get to know how concerned the children are about climate change, global warming. What is the extent of confidence that they have in the local governments, whether the local governments are doing enough so as to bring about a halt to the climate change, or even to reverse it to a certain extent. How committed are they personally, and whether they believe in the fact that we can stop the climate change. And this climate awareness survey, it kept on building program after program. And these are the glimpses of what the students do. See the rock samples and the minerals and try to imbibe what the rocks look like, what the slices of rocks look like, what the minerals look like in thin sections. And the most important part of the curricula of the syllabus is the poster painting. The students are given a particular theme, which may be very diverse from one program to the next, where they paint posters, and there are certain exercises that they do and follow up so as to understand earth processes. Now this quest for hydrocarbons, we took it from India to West Africa because this is where the rocks of the similar age occur. And in West Africa, exploration is being carried out in context of oil and gas. So the theme again was very relevant, where we partnered with the sponsor partner, and the local partner, University of Ghana, so as to build up a team that not only involved oil and gas, but it also involved understanding energy efficiency and conservation. So we kept on building the syllabus and the curricula. It kept on evolving from one program to the next, and so did the climate awareness survey, where we could get a glimpse of what the children think about at different places about climate change and global warming. This was the next program that was organized in Accra. And here in the middle you can see the king of Ghana, if I'm not wrong, Ashanti Kingdom. What was it, Naveen? And he is wearing a ton of gold. So we thought that it's very relevant if we build in the occurrences of minerals in Ghana, as the economy there is based on mineral occurrences as well. So apart from oil and gas, hydrocarbons, environmental challenges, energy efficiency and conservation, we also try to build the syllabus concerning the mineral occurrences in Ghana, because this is what drives the economy of that place. This was in the year 2014. The conference was organized by IIT University of Jammu in association with Geological Society London. And this conference was about sustainable resources development in Himalayas. So when we talk about Himalayas, sustenance is very important. So this is what drove the theme of the teaching material, of the curricula for this program, where we collaborated with many collaborators that included Geological Society London, Joel is here, Geology for Global Development, IRDR and others, and the theme was very diverse. And the curricula that we devised, that we constructed, not only included energy and natural resources, but also included natural hazards, landslide and environment, which followed through with introduction to landslides, etc., etc. And we also talk about earthquakes. That was introduced for the first time into the curriculum. Since here we're talking about Himalaya, it's very seismic prone and all the more relevant. And in this children's education program, we try to inculcate the sense of geology, tectonics, and seismics in that particular area. And that we did by making use of a 3D block that illustrated the structure and design of Himalaya. And the students were really happy to see where they are in Himalaya. To give you a sense of direction, that's Jammu, where we come from, that is the Kashmir Valley, and we go all the way north to Leh, where we have organized. And the latest one that we did organize was somewhere here in Shyok Nubra Valley. So when we talked about seismics, when we talked about earthquakes, the shaking of the ground, the children could see what's happening beneath, what lies in the subsurface, and that may lead to an earthquake in their area. And these are the different glimpses of the same model that was used to make students understand what lies in the subsurface. Now you'll see that lot has changed from quest for oil and gas, quest for hydrocarbons, to disasters and hazards, risk and risk reduction. This was the children's education program that was conducted in Shyok Nubra Valley that Wakar talked about and showed you the videos from. Energy is important. We thought about it. Let's write a booklet on, let's build a curriculum, or let's build a syllabus concerning the energy requirements. But when we tried to do a bit of research, we came across an important fact. Energy is important, but survival is all the most important in wake of these natural hazards that people there have to face day in and day out on daily basis. And the hazards range from landslides through floods and many other hazards. And it's very important to enable people to understand the importance of being resilient. And this is how we moved on from the quest for hydrocarbons to the quest for survival in front of natural hazards, the quest for resilience. And here we partnered with IRDR, and this is how we were able to construct the curricula, which is laid down as understanding the hazards towards disaster risk reduction, becoming risk smart, and becoming resilient. I was trying to understand the nature of hazards that people in London have to face. And talking about, say for example, earthquakes. There are not many earthquakes. Correct me if I'm wrong. The largest that you had was 6 in magnitude, not that severe, not that serious. What do you think is the most relevant, is the most important issue that you will like to see in a curriculum that is defined, that is designed, that is constructed for a children's education program in London? Think about it. What is the most important point? What is the most important issue? What is the most important problem that you have identified, apart from people smoking in the middle of the road and a lot of smoke going into your nostrils? Floods. Who will you team up with? So for example, you need to find sponsors. Will it be a petroleum exploration company, or will it be an organization that looks into preventing natural hazards? For example, NERC. Who will your partners be? Local partners, partners who will bring in more expertise, more experience, and what should be the localized theme, the core that you will follow to build the curriculum? That's the point to think. With this, I'd like to end my presentation. If there are any questions, I'd like to take them. Thank you.
Back to your whole last important point. There is a need to translate it into the local language. We came across one of the examples. Please explain. This college is in Portuguese, because the language spoken there is Portuguese. All 16 units are English-based. This is Portuguese. So they have to take it in the calculus.
So, the book that we usually write for the children's education program, it's in English. But for the first time, a children's education program was organized in Mozambique, and their official language is not English. So at times it's a big challenge. So we may need translators, interpreters, while we are organizing a children's education program. Is there anything else you wish me to add? Thank you.
There were 3 languages in Africa: Portuguese and French and English. Ghana was safe for us because they speak English there. Mozambique, also Portuguese. And Angola, I think, is probably also Portuguese. The problem is Argentina. Argentina, yes, I can respect Spanish.
And to tackle this, we are trying to print our booklets in double languages, the local language and English. This is what we thought about the last time, and because of...
It's not so easy.
It's not very easy.
It makes all the sense to use the local language.
To translate all hazards book into language.
And we have been planning to organize a joint program for India and Pakistan just to ease the tension for 5 years, but we didn't succeed. That is our target.
Now we succeeded in escalating the tensions at the moment.
And at one time, we were very close to come to resolution. We offered cross-border admissions in our universities, Jammu and Muzaffarabad. That worked to some extent. Unfortunately, change in the government on either side. We caught stuck. So we are at it. Let's see.
Yeah, but the first
children's education program is
multi-dimensional.
multi-dimensional.
We had 7 geologists from Pakistan
Yes,
before the
we
conference.
managed them. we brought the chief executive of the Curricula, and that in controversial part. They were there.
And I was always thinking that we'll be organizing a program for the grown-ups, but I think with the death of Hugh Hefner, that's not possible. Thank you. Yeah, please.
Is the curriculum is controlled by the national or is by province? I mean, all the standard of the curriculum. And how is the course material is integrated to the, is it like separate activity or is part of the lesson plan, and how the output can be managed in the end of the lesson?
Usually it's both. I'll try to answer the later part of your question first. It's both. There are lessons, there are exercises, and there are hands-on experience. So if there is a chapter that's drafted, there will be an exercise that has to go along. And there will be a practical session that will be paralleling what's written in that particular chapter. And to answer your first question, we go through certain books that are drafted by the State Education Department, so as to see the level of understanding that the children and students have been provided. We try to figure it out if it's enough, or do we need to add more to what already has been provided to the students.
And the question is not to burden the students. It should be student-friendly. That is our approach. Whatever they can easily grasp, wherever they can be friendly, they have to take it as a entertainment. Interaction.
And last time we tried to bring in
no fair examination at all.
Last time we tried to bring in Shah Rukh Khan, but he did not.
So we are evolving. It's in evolving for the last several years.
Fine, thank you. If there are any questions, any further questions?
Sorry, just one more question. So have you been running this program within school time? So has this kind of fit in with the ordinary timetables within the school, or has this been after school?
Usually, this has to be during the school hours, not during the vacations, and we take due care that the program is organized during school hours, but mostly the program extends for 2 days, so some of the students have to go back and some of the students stay with us, but during the school hours the school is non-functional. It's entirely for the children's education program.